With the announcement of Marvel's Phase 3, the one movie that took most people by surprise, but it probably shouldn't have, was The Inhumans.
I mean, it really shouldn't have surprised anyone, considering that we are getting an Ant-Man movie this summer. But if you thought Guardians of the Galaxy was obscure, then obviously you're scratching your head wondering just exactly who or what are the Inhumans. Well, strap yourself in, because we're going to take a look at them. Now, once again, for the sake of time and space, I'm going to have to leave a lot of stuff out. This is, after all, a 5-minute video, and I'm not going to be able to fit every single detail into it. Got it? Good. Let's go. Created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, the Inhumans are a race of people who are the result of thousands of years of genetic experimentation by the Kree, after the Celestials had made their genetic investments in life on Earth. Their goal was to refresh their own DNA that had suffered under thousands of years of stagnation, and to use the Inhumans as a weapon in their ongoing war against the Skrulls. The results of their experiments went on to form their own society. Although not having had a regular series for much of their history, the Inhumans have been fixtures in many Marvel stories. The Inhumans first appeared in Fantastic Four number 45, although Medusa first appeared in Fantastic Four number 36 as part of a group called the Frightful Four. It wasn't until Fantastic Four number 44 that we learned Medusa had been suffering from amnesia, which is revealed when she comes into contact with fellow Inhuman, Gorgon. After battling the Fantastic Four, who mistake the Inhumans and their leader Black Bolt for being evil, they gather their comrades and flee the scene. In Thor 146, it's revealed that the Inhumans are an advanced race that has existed side by side with more primitive races on Earth. It's also around this time which we learn how the Inhumans gain their special abilities. As a rite of passage, the Inhumans are exposed to the Terrigen Mists. In Thor 148 and 149, we learn Black Bolt's story. It's revealed that he can control electrons, and his voice can create powerful shock waves. In this story, Black Bolt's brother, Maximus the Mad, attempts to usurp his power and assume the throne, but he's defeated. The Inhumans would go on to split a book with Black Widow called Amazing Adventures. By issues 9 and 10, Black Widow was phased out of the book, and the Inhumans were featured by themselves. It's also during this run that Maximus the Mad once again tries to subvert the throne for himself, and Black Bolt has his memory erased. Black Bolt later comes into contact with Thor and Magneto. Eventually, Black Bolt's memory is restored, and he returns to the throne. In 1977, the Inhumans get their own series, which only lasts 12 issues. In this story, Black Bolt mentally imprisons his brother Maximus the Mad. In Inhumans Volume 2, Black Bolt attempts to relocate his people to the blue area of the moon to escape the ever-encroaching reach of the human race. It's during this time that Maximus kidnaps Black Bolt's wife, Medusa. As the city of Attilan's defenses crumble, Black Bolt makes it appear as if the humans have destroyed the city. After Attilan sinks into the ocean, it's reclaimed by Prince Namor the Submariner. The Inhumans then relocate to Tibet, far away from the reach of man. In Volume 3, Ronan, remember him? Attempts to reclaim the Inhumans for the Kree Empire, and it's learned that the Inhumans were originally created to be a weapon for the Kree, to be used against the different races that the Kree wanted to conquer. They did this by giving the Inhumans the dormant genes of those races. Once exposed to the Terrigen Mists, they would mutate and more resemble that race, and then infiltrate and subvert it from within. Even though the Inhumans are one of the most obscure series in the Marvel Universe, Marvel has already been slowly introducing the Inhumans and elements of the series into the cinematic universe. Eric Selvig's blackboard from Thor Dark World may look like a bunch of gibberish and random equations, but there is a clue that confirms the Inhumans' existence. Over Selvig's left shoulder, you'll see the words, "The Fault." The Fault is the rupture in the universe into which Black Bolt released the Terrigen Mists in an attempt to bring an end to the Kree-Shi'ar War. Under Black Bolt's decree, no Inhuman can wage war against another Inhuman. By making the entire universe Inhumans, he felt he could bring the war to an end. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. have also introduced the Inhumans to their storyline. In the mid-season finale, Skye and Raina undergo Terrigenesis, with Skye's transformation being more subtle than Raina's. The Inhumans are not really superheroes in the traditional sense. Black Bolt, their king, rules with his wife Medusa, whom he shares a psychic link with. Exposure to the Terrigen Mists is a rite of passage. It's also voluntary. Depending on the result, you are assigned a place within the royal house. The results of exposure also vary. Some may emerge stronger, some may emerge weaker, some changes may be very extreme, some may appear not to have changed at all. With the film nearly 3 years out, there's no director as of yet. The latest rumors are that Vin Diesel is the frontrunner to play Black Bolt, which he hinted at on his Twitter feed. It's kind of fitting because he won't have to talk during the film. The Inhumans hits theaters on November 2nd,
2018. That concludes coverage of Marvel's Phase 3. Next episode, something completely different. See you next time.
When my pilot light shining, pilot light shining bright.